Hi students, this is Mrs. Pancoke. I'm going to do lesson 2 with you, working with Microsoft Excel 2016. In this lesson, we're going to be creating workbooks, saving workbooks, entering and editing basic data in a workbook, a worksheet, using data types to populate a worksheet, cutting, copying, and pasting data, and editing a workbook's properties. So a little software orientation, Excel's Home tab is what we're going to be using quite a bit here. It's very similar to Word, except in the alignment we now have merge and wrap text. We have a number group, styles group is a little different, as well as cells and editing. So as I go down here, we have this creating workbook. So we're going to create a workbook from scratch. It says get ready and launch Excel. I like to go down to Cortana and just type in Excel. Or you could click on it on the desktop. So here we go. We're going to open up a blank workbook. If you have just launched Excel Book 1, Excel appears in the title bar at the top of the window. A blank workbook opens with cell A1 as our active cell. In cell A1, we're going to type in Fabricam ink. Once you have that typed in, this entry is the primary title for the worksheet. Note that as you type, the text appears in the cell and in the formula bar. It says see figure 2-3 and see the definition of formula bar in the editing a cell's contents section later in this lesson. Basically, a formula bar is where you type in, you can type in text or you could type in a formula, which we will learn about later on. But this formula bar will display the formula. In your document, it will actually display only the answer to the formula. Alright, so when you're done typing, it says to press enter. When you press enter, the text is entered into cell A1, but it appears as if it flows into cell B1. As you can see here, Fabricam ink is too long for this column. It actually flows into column B. So in cell A2, we're going to type this address. 123 4th Street, and press enter again. And when we press enter, it goes to the next row below. In cell A3, type Columbus, Ohio 43204. Press enter. We're on step 6 of page 14. It says sometimes you need a quick work area to complete another task while you are in the middle of a workbook. You can open another workbook as a scratch area. The File tab, and in the left pane click New. The different templates available appear. So we're going to click the File tab and we're going to click New. And in Backstage View, we're going to click on Blank Workbook. A second Excel workbook opens, and it should be called Book 2 as our file name. You'll see the file name appear at the top of your workbook. And it says in cell A1 to type phone calls. Press enter and then type David Ortiz, UA flight 525, arriving at 4:30 p.m. and we'll press enter. And it says to, step 10 says to click the File tab to open Backstage View in the left pane and click Close to close the phone calls workbook. In the message box, we'll click Don't Save. So click on the File tab and we'll click Close, and then we'll click Don't Save. Okay. It says pause, leave Fabricam workbook open for the next exercise. And so far, guys, we haven't yet saved this document yet. Okay, so we're going to be working on saving the workbook next. So when saving a workbook, you need to keep in mind, where do you want to save the file and what name will you save the file. In this lesson, you'll be answering these questions for 2 different files. So we're going to click the File button once again, and this time click on Save As. And you can either click on Browse or This PC. I prefer to just click Browse and go to my Z drive, and I'm going to find my Info Tech folder. And for this, I've been saving my work in the Excel MOAC folder. If you haven't done so, click on New Folder and create a Lesson 2 folder. Once you've made a Lesson 2 folder, you can click on it, and we'll save it as the file name down here, O2 Fabricam address solution. Okay, and then hit the Save button, and now our file name should be saved to appear as an Excel workbook file. Okay, it says pause, leave the workbook open to use the next exercise. Right now I'm on page 15 going to 16. Okay, it says click the File tab, and this is all about saving to OneDrive. A little background on OneDrive. OneDrive is a cloud-based application that allows you to store and sync your files so that you can retrieve them anywhere and share them with other people if desired. OneDrive is also a great place to store and back up files of important documents. OneDrive comes with recent versions of Windows and Microsoft Office. This exercise will assume that you already have OneDrive. We are going to go ahead and skip over this. Okay, so don't do the step-by-step save to your OneDrive. We're going to just click the back arrow and go back to our document. However, if you are interested in using OneDrive at home, it is kind of similar to saving on Google Drive, only if this OneDrive is Microsoft's version of Google Drive. Okay, so you can save lots of different items to the OneDrive. So we're going to move on down here to save a workbook under a different name. Basically this was just the exact same thing that we did, so don't worry about any of that stuff if you're worried. But over here it says that in cell A2 we need to type in this new address. So I'm going to type it in. Just click in cell A2 and start typing. 87 East Broad Street. Right now I'm at the bottom of page 17. And then it says in cell A3 to type Columbus, Ohio, but we're going to type in a different zip code. So I'm just taking a shortcut and only saving or changing the zip code. And it says to press the File tab and go to Save As. you could hit browse, but this current folder option allows me to go quickly and easily to my lesson 2 folder. It saves me some time. And I'm going to add in the word broad address solution to my file and hit save. So you've just created a new workbook by saving an existing workbook with a new name. So I still have my old item, but I also have my new file as well. So now it says to click the File button, and we're going to go to Save As one more time, and then click Browse. And we're going to go to our Lesson 2 folder one more time, if you can get to it quickly and easily. This time in the file name box, we're going to type the word template solution. Okay, and it wants us to change the save as type, so I'm going to click on this drop down arrow, and we're going to choose Excel template, which is right here. Okay, and we're going to click save. Okay, just so you know, you can also use an existing workbook as a template to create new workbooks. In this exercise, you'll learn how to save as dialog box to implement either of these. So a template basically just is kind of like a starting point for your new document. So I could use that template to restart a whole new document using what I've already typed in. Okay, saving a workbook in a previous Excel format. Because not everyone has this newest version, some people might need you to convert the file over. So people who are using older versions might not be able to open your new file. You can save a copy of an Excel 2016 workbook to the older Excel 97 2003 workbook format. We're going to do that in this next lesson. Okay, so we need to close out of this. And it says at the bottom of the left pane, oh, we gotta launch Excel. So let's go ahead and open up a new Excel window. And it says at the bottom of the left pane, click Open Other Workbooks. In the list of recent files, we're going to find this. Now, we don't have that there, so we actually have to click on the Open option. What? For some reason, it's not giving me the options. So go ahead and close out of Excel. Go to your folder and go ahead and find that O2 Fabricam broad address solution out of your data file. Oh, we gotta go to our data files. No? We don't. We're just going to open up O2 Fabricam broad address solution. Okay. And it says, I'm going to close out of that. It says first check for compatibility issues. So we're going to click on the File tab, and then we will click on Info, check for issues, and then we'll click on check compatibility. Okay. The Microsoft Excel compatibility checker dialog box opens, and it says there's no compatibility issues. Read the information and then click close. And then it says to click the File Export button, and we're going to change the file type by clicking right here. This is all in Backstage View, and we're going to click Excel 97 2003 Workbook, and we're going to click the Save As button. Okay, navigate to your Lesson 2 folder inside your Infotech Excel Lesson 2. We need to make sure it still says Save As type as 97 2003. Go ahead and click Save. Or sorry, actually, first we need to type in 97-03 solution. Okay, and then hit Save. Okay, so next I'm on step 9. It says click the File tab and click Open. The right pane in the Backstage View shows the last set of documents to have been saved. Well, it doesn't because that feature has been turned off. So we need to go to Open. For some reason mine still isn't letting me open that. Go to your folder and find O2 Fabricam Broad Address Solution. Okay, that would be this one. I'm going to close out of this document. Okay, it says pause and leave the workbook open to use this next exercise. So I don't want to use that 97 2003 document. I want to use this one. I'm going to close out of that. See, it says saving in different file formats. So we're going to continue to save in some different file formats by clicking the File tab. I'm going to Export, and we're going to click on the Change File Type. This time choosing the PDF XPS file type. Oh, whoops, sorry. We're going to click right here. Create PDF XPS document. And we're going to click on this button right here, the Create PDF XPS button. And then we're going to navigate in the navigation pane, click Desktop. Okay, you guys can't actually save to the desktop, so this might be a little bit confusing, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Lesson 2 folder. So find your Lesson 2 folder, and your file type should say PDF, and we're going to go ahead and click Publish. Okay, once we do that, you should see a PDF open up, and it will be actually similar to your book. Your book will be up here, and your new PDF will be right here. Sorry, here, let's go back to our book. It says to press A4 or Alt F4 to close the browser and the reader application. We're not going to do that. We're just going to click the X right there to close it out. Next, we're going to be entering and editing basic data into a worksheet. We're going to be utilizing the copy and paste. So just so you know, you can copy and paste information from another worksheet or from other programs. Copy takes the information from one location and duplicates it. Paste means that you are using paste to put this information into a different location. So go ahead, and we're still in the same document. The O2 Fabricam Broad Address Solution. It says to click in cell A1. Oh, sorry, I am must be tired or something. You need to open up a new workbook. So go to File, New, Blank Workbook, and we're going to close out of this other one. Okay, so in cell A1, we're going to type Fabricam Inc. Press Enter, and in cell A2, we're going to type Employee List. Press Enter. Click in cell A4, so we're going to go down one and we're going to type in name, press the tab key. This little hint right here, troubleshooting. If you type the wrong data, you can click the cell and retype the entry. In the following sections, you see how to edit text. Okay, so we need to be in cell B4. You can either press tab, it's probably easiest and quickest, or you can click in that cell. We're going to type extension and press enter. Notice that the active cell moves to the first cell in the next row. Okay, so under name, we're going to type Richard Carey, press the tab key, and we're going to type 101, press enter. Okay, notice that 101 cut off Richard Carey's, his name looks cut off. Okay, so we're going to click in cell A5 and notice that the complete entry for Richard Carey appears up in the formula bar. It says to click in cell, so it is all there, it's just that this cell isn't quite big enough yet. So go ahead and click in cell A6 and we're going to type David Ortiz and press enter and type Kim Akers. Press enter, type Nicole Karen and press enter. And then it says on step 11 right here, once we've done all that typing, your document should look similar to mine or similar to the picture on step figure 2-9. It says to save this document as, we're going to go to our lesson 2 folder and we're supposed to name it O2 Fabricam Employees Solution. Save it. Next we're going to change the column width. So remember this one's cut off and we have some that are spilling over into the next column. We're going to use the same document. It says to move the mouse pointer between columns A and B to the column markers at the top of the worksheet. The mouse pointer changes to a double-headed arrow. It says to double click once you get your mouse to that double-headed arrow. Notice, if I move it away from that line, it changes. We're going to double click on that line and the width of the column changes to the widest entry in column A. In this case, the widest entries are employee list and Richard Carey's name. Take note, to change the column width manually, point to the column marker between A and B and you can actually drag it to make it longer or shorter. Okay, or you can just go ahead and double click. It says to drag the double-headed arrow mouse pointer between columns B and C until the screen tip shows of a width of 20 or something close to this amount, and then release the mouse button. So I'm going to move my mouse between columns B and C and I'm going to drag until my width says something close to 20. Okay. And then I'm going to save this document as Fabricam Employee Solution. So I guess just go ahead and hit the save icon. Take note, when you type text that is longer than the cell's width, the text appears to extend into the next cell. However, when you type in the next cell, the overflow text does not display. the text is still there. It is often easier to proof your work if you have the column widths match the longest text entries. You can double click on the column marker to automatically adjust to the widest entry, or drag the column marker to adjust the column width to your desired width. Okay, so now we're going to open up another blank document. So go ahead and close this one. Go ahead and open up a new Excel document. And we need to be blank document. It says in cell A1 to type, I'm on page 22 here, step 1, type Fabricam and press enter. Okay, we're going to be editing the cell's content. So the insertion point moves to A2 and nothing appears in the formula bar. In cell A1, click in cell A1 and notice that the formula bar displays Fabricam. Okay, we're going to click after Fabricam in the formula bar and we're going to type the word incorporated. And then press the tab key. Okay. The insertion point moves to cell B1 and nothing appears in the formula bar. It says to click in cell A1 and in the formula bar double click the word incorporated to select it, and we're going to type ink. So oftentimes if you want to go back and edit a cell, you actually have to do it by clicking in the formula bar to make those changes. Okay, so once we've done that, go ahead and press enter, and in cell B or A2 we're going to type sales, press enter, and we're going to click in cell A2 and click after sales in the formula bar and we're going to type home. Oh sorry, no. We're going to press the home, okay? Home key on our keyboard, not type home, sorry. The insertion point moves to the beginning of the formula bar. We're going to type monthly in front of sales with the space bar in between and then press enter. In cell A3 we're going to type the word January and press enter. Okay, it says to click in cell A3 and type February. Then press enter. Okay, cell A3's original text is gone and February replaces January. Click in cell A3 and we're going to press the delete key. The entry in A3 is removed. Above row 1 and to the left of column A, we're going to click the Select All button. All cells on the worksheet are selected. The Select All button is this triangular button. When I click on it, it selects the entire worksheet. Okay, and we're going to press the Delete key on our keyboard. All entries are removed. Okay, we're going to delete and clear a cell's contents. So we're just going to use the same blank workbook. We don't need to open up a new one. But in cell A1, we're going to type 1 and then press enter. Type 2, press enter, 3, enter, 4, enter. And it says to highlight all of the cells A1 through A4 and press delete. Okay, so you can highlight things to delete, certain cells that you'd like to delete the contents. On the quick access toolbar, it says to click the undo button and to restore all the entries. In cell B5, which is right here, we're going to type $275,000. Okay, and then press enter. Okay, We're then going to click in cell B5 and we're going to press delete. And instead this time we're going to type in 225,000 and press enter. Okay? Without the dollar sign, without the comma, type that in. Notice that 225,000 is formatted. Although the original entry is gone, the cell retains the previous format when you press delete. So that's very important to note. So even though I deleted the original, it changes it back to the format that I had previously typed in. So go ahead and click in cell B5, and this time on the Home tab in the Editing group, we're going to click on this eraser looking button. That is the clear button. Okay, when I want to clear a format and clear the cell, I can click on Clear All, or if I just want to clear the formatting, I can click on Clear Formats. Okay, cell B5 now displays 225,000 without the dollar sign and the comma. Take note, Clear displays a number of options. To remove both the entry and the format, just choose Clear All. Next, we're going to be using data types to populate a worksheet. So, we can go ahead and close out of this document without saving. And I'm going to go to my File Explorer, and I'm going to navigate to my Excel folder, Lesson 2, and I'm going to open up, out of our data files, go to Lesson 2, and we're going to open up Fabricam Cells. Whenever this comes up and you see the yellow bar, go ahead and click on Enable Editing. Okay, and I'm going to close out of this document. Okay, so it says to click in cell B5 and we're going to type the date of January 4th, 2017. Press enter. Type in the next date. January 25th, 2017. Press enter. Okay. The date is entered in B6 as 1/25/2017. And B7 becomes active. So it realizes that before that I typed in 2017 and I didn't type it in for B6, and so it automatically added that 2017, thinking that's what I wanted. In B7 we're going to type 1/23 and press enter. Okay, the 23rd of January, this is entered into the cell, even though I didn't type it in like that. It says to click B7, and notice that 1/23/20XX appears representing the current year. So because it's 2016, it shows up in that formula bar. If the year displayed in the formula bar is not 2017, click B7 and press the F and press F2. Okay, when I press F2, it allows me to go in and change that really quickly. It's a keyboarding key. F2 is over by the escape key. In B8, go ahead and press enter or click. We're going to type 1/28-17 and press enter. Okay. In cell B9, we're going to type January 21st, 2017 and press enter. Okay. It changes our format once again. 21 Jan 17 appears in the cell. If you entered a date in a different format than specified or had already entered something in the cell and deleted it, your worksheet might not reflect the results described. The date formats in column B are not consistent. You apply a consistent date format in the next section. Okay, so they are supposed to look weird like this. Okay, they're not the same. We're going to change it in a little bit. So it says in cell B9, type 1-1-17 and press enter. Notice that the value changes, but the format remains the same. We're going to click the undo button to take it back to the January 21st. It says pause, leave the workbook open to use in the next exercise. When you enter a date into a cell in a particular format, the cell is automatically formatted even if you delete the entry. Subsequent numbers entered in that cell will be converted to the date format of the original entry. So Excel provides autofill, which is options that automatically fill cells with data and or formatting. To populate a new cell with data that exists in the adjacent cell, use the autofill feature either through the command or the fill handle. The fill handle is a small green square in the lower right hand corner of a selected cell or range of cells. A range is a group of adjacent cells that you select to perform operations on all of the selected cells. Okay, so we're going to be working with ranges, autofill, and fill handle here in just a minute. So get ready. Use the workbook we used in the previous exercise. I'm on page 26, step 1. We're going to select the range C4 through H4. Alrighty, and it says on the Home tab in the Editing group, we're going to click the Fill button. That would be this one. And this menu appears, similar to the one in the picture in the book. We're going to click on the Fill Right arrow. Okay. The contents of C4 January are filled into the next cells. We're going to click the Undo. It says to click in cell C4. Point to the fill handle in the lower right hand corner of the cell. The fill handle is this little teeny tiny box right here in the corner. And it says that we're going to drag it. Hold down with your mouse. We're going to drag it over to E4 and release. The autofill options button appears next to the range, and January through March are appeared or displayed. This is the autofill options button. Notice down here, like when I move my mouse to the autofill, it changes to this black plus sign. That means I'm on the autofill. Okay. It says to click in cell C5, point to the fill handle and drag it to C9. All of the numbers turn to 275,000 in column C. The autofill options button appears in the lower right hand corner of the selected range. Click the autofill options button, and this time we're going to choose fill formatting only because we don't want all these numbers to be 275,000. We want them to be individually, we just want the format. Okay, so then it says repeat steps 8 and 9 for the range B5 through B9. So I'm going to fill handle down, and I'm going to click the fill handle options, and fill formatting only is what I'm going to choose. Okay. Then it says to click in cell A9, and we're going to use the fill handle to drag down to A15. Okay, and it says Ryan Califato's name is repeated. Click the undo button and return to the spreadsheet. And then it says to save this workbook as in our lesson 2 folder. So take note, when you type sufficient data for Excel to recognize a series, the fill handle will do the rest. For example, to record daily sales, you might want to have consecutive columns labeled with the days of the week. If you type Monday in the first cell, you can fill the rest of the days by dragging the fill handle from the Monday cell to complete the series. By definition, a natural series is a formatted series of text or numbers that are normally in a normal sequence, such as months, weeks, numbers, or times. Alright, so for this next section, we're still we have our Fabricam sales solution open. We're actually going to open up a different document, and we're going to fill this time using Flash Fill. So go ahead and navigate to your data files, Infotech, Excel, data files, lesson 2. We're going to open up O2 customers. Here we are. Close out of that. Okay, so Flash Fill, with Flash Fill you can quickly fill a column of data using an example that is based on an existing data in an adjacent column. Alright, so notice step 1 here says notice the customer list in column A, which includes last name followed by a comma and then the first name. You want to create separate columns for the first and last names. So it says to select cell B2 and we're going to type Alice and press enter and begin to type Aiden. Once you type the AI, Excel guesses that you want to enter the rest of the first names in column B and display a preview of the results. See the picture in the book. It says to press the enter key to accept the suggestion. The remaining first names fill down the column. Notice that Excel also includes the middle initials for those names that included them. Next, we're going to choose cell C2 and we're going to type Kiku. I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. And press enter, and then we're going to start to type Delaney. Same thing as I start to type the D and the E. It gets added, and then press enter. All of my names are now there. Okay, so go ahead and save this document as customer solution inside your lesson 2 folder. Okay, I already had made that, so I'm going to click yes. Okay, and then it says pause and close Excel. Next, we're going to be copying, cutting, and pasting data. So go ahead and open up your document here, and we're going to find customer houses. Okay, I'm going to close out of that. Let's see, customer houses, close out of this one. Okay, so select the range A12 through A22. And it says to press the control button and point to the right border of the selected range. As I'm holding down the control button, my mouse changes to arrow plus a pointer. Okay. With the pointer displayed, okay, it says troubleshooting. Be sure to hold down the control key the entire time you are dragging the data series for copying with the mouse, or you will move the series instead of copying it. So I need to make sure we hold down the control key. With the copy pointer displayed, press and hold, and we're going to drag it until we go over to H12 through H22, and then release our mouse, and then release the control button. Okay. So our data is now in A12 through A22 and also in cells H12 through H22. Next, we're going to select cells E12 through E22. And it says to place, this time we're not using the control, we're just going to move this text. So we're going to move our mouse to the edge of this range. And it's a four-sided arrow. The move pointer, a white arrow with four smaller black arrows attached, is displayed. This is the move pointer. Hold down the left mouse button and we're going to drag it to cell I12, okay, through I22. Release the mouse button. In your worksheet, the destination cells are empty, therefore you are not concerned with replacing the existing data. The data previously in E12 through E22 is now in I12 through I22. Okay, don't get concerned if you see the hashtag signs. It's meant to be like that. It's basically these numbers don't exactly fit in this column just yet. Okay, but don't worry about it. You know, in the future, if this happens, you can double click to in between so you can display all the contents of that cell. So next, I'm on step 5. It says to drag cell A1 to H11. Let go. Oops, there's an error message that says there's already data here. Do you want to replace it? I'm going to hit cancel. I don't want to replace it. We're going to try again. This time, move it to H12. Okay, H11. And we're going to drag E1 to I11. Okay, and our data should look something like this. It says to pause and leave the workbook open to use in the next exercise. Now we're going to be using the clipboard to cut and paste and copy. So on the Home tab of the ribbon, it says to click the Clipboard dialog box launcher. We're on page 31. The Clipboard pane opens on the left side of the worksheet. The most recently copied item is always added at the top of the list, and it is the item that we copied when you clicked paste or a shortcut command. It says to select A1, and we're going to go ahead and press delete. Then it says to select H11 through I22. And we're going to press the copy button. The border around the selected range moves to moving border. We're going to click in cell A1 and we're going to click the paste button. The move border remains active around H11 through I22. A copied range does not deactivate until you type new text, issue another command, or double click on another cell or press escape. Next, we're going to click in cell A20, and this time we're going to choose the paste down arrow, and we're going to see the paste options menu. Under the paste values, we're going to click the first option, values, and notice that the values in the range B21 through B31 right here are no longer formatted with a $sign and a comma. It says to click undo, and then we're going to select H11 through I22, and we're going to press the delete key, and then press and hold Control plus Home to go back to the beginning, and save your workbook as O2 Customer Houses Solution. Okay, save it, leave it open, and we're almost there. This is the end. Next, we're going to be working with workbook properties. Just like in Word, you now need to go to Backstage View to edit these properties, and this will also be in this Excel test at the end of our unit. Keywords right here, also called tags, allow you to assign these keywords to a document properties, making it easier to organize and find the documents. So, step 1 says to click the File button, and to display Backstage View, over here in the Properties panel, we're going to click on Show All Properties. To display more properties, and where tags are, we're going to type in customer, square foot, and price. Under categories, we're going to type revenue. And under company name, we're going to add in Fabricam Inc. Okay, go ahead and type that in. It says above the size property, click on the properties drop down arrow and click on advanced properties. The properties dialog box opens. It says to click on the summary tab to see the properties you just entered, and then click on statistics to see the data you modified the file. Now, when using Microsoft Word, let's say you have an assignment to create a new document. If this document was created a year ago, your teacher is going to realize that this is an old document. So be aware of that people can tell, when you edited or created or modified your document based on the Statistics tab. We're going to go ahead and click OK, and then it says to press Escape to go back to your worksheet, and then we're going to go to File, Save As, and we can save it as Customer Houses Prop Solution. Oops. Save, click Yes, and we are done. Go ahead and do the knowledge assessment in Schoology, and then after that do the 2 projects on page 34 and 35. Fabricam Sales Solution. Okay, save it. It says to take note, when you type sufficient data for Excel to recognize a series, the fill handle will do the rest. For example, to record daily sales, you might want to have a consistent column labeled with the days of the week. If you type Monday in the first cell and you fill in the rest of the days of the week by dragging the fill handle from the Monday cell to complete the series. So it'll recognize